Hello and welcome. You are watching News 9 Live. I'm Krishnakumar. This is Budget 2024 Blueprint for the Big Leap, where we are bringing you all the focus on the upcoming Union Budget of the year 2024, which is set to be presented by the end of July, on the 23rd of July. We here at News 9 Live have kicked off our pre-budget programming, and in the special series that we're calling Budget 2024 Blueprint for the Big Leap, today's edition is dedicated to India's renewable energy sector. Remember, at COP26 Climate Summit, India had pledged that it will have 50% renewable energy capacity by the year 2030. And currently, renewable energy accounts for over 42% of India's total energy capacity. As the budget is due for presentation on the 23rd of July, we are yet to witness if the government will prioritize the renewable energy sector. Will the government pump up investments in the renewable energy space? What are the expectations of the players in the renewable energy sector? Some important questions we're raising, even as India aims to achieve net zero emission target by the year 2070. And joining us on the show, we have Somesh Kumar, partner, power and utilities leader at EY India. Joining us, Somesh, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. I'm going to begin by asking you a very simple question. What are your expectations from Union Budget 2024 when it comes to the renewable energy sector?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think this is a budget which is going to promote renewable energy in a big way. I think we saw in the interim budget that government had laid emphasis on, increasing outlay and putting thrust on renewable energy. I think that direction is going to continue, and the government may significantly increase the resource allocation to renewable energy sector. Particularly, I think two areas which would, get a lot of funding would be the solar and the green hydrogen sector. Already we have seen that, PM Surya Ghar Yojana was announced last year, for solarizing 1 crore households. There may be additional measures announced for that. That's a flagship scheme of the government. I also feel that, additional financial incentives may be provided under the production-linked incentives. In several areas, there were incentives in the areas of ACC batteries. There were incentives for high-efficiency solar PV modules. There could be more PLI-linked incentives to wind turbines, biomass energy systems, etc. Also inverters and electrolyzers. So there could be, significant sort of incentives on that. Also, there could be duty rationalization, GST rationalization on several components of RE. There are varying duty structures which just complicate the matter. So there could be probably a simplification of that to a uniform 5% GST structure. So I think, high level, these are some of the things which I expect.
Okay, stay with us. We also have Kunwer Sachdev, founder, Sukam, and mentor, Suvastika, joining us on the show. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Sachdev. My first question to you would be, what are your expectations? Because the allocations as far as renewable energy is concerned went up sharply by 50% in the interim budget itself. What are your expectations when it comes to renewable energy from the upcoming full year budget?
So, major challenge what we have seen so far is that all the renewable energy resources have been given for grid feed, system. So we are expecting that some storage also comes into the picture in renewable, because without this storage, renewable energy is not as useful as with storage. So there are some big projects where government is investing and government is focusing. But I think from the smaller and medium level, the energy storage systems with lithium battery can replace generators, which is a big area which we are looking at. And second is energy with the lithium and with the solar storage. That is another area where we are expecting some sort of because there is no incentive right now where storage is concerned in solar. It is all without storage. There are incentives by the government. And then the another thing we are looking at is rationalization of GST on the solar system, storage systems.
Right. Let me take this back to Somesh Kumar. I want to understand, when it comes to the big challenges as far as, the integration of green energy, renewable energy into the main grid is concerned, what do you think can be done from a budget perspective, from a policy perspective to solve them?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge which we face while integrating renewable energy sources into the grid is because of the infirm nature of the resource itself. So there is a lot of intermittency, not just with respect to time, but also climate, season, locations, etc. So I think what is being attempted and what can be attempted best is to complement renewable energy sources with storage. These could be storage in the form of pumped storage projects or battery energy storage projects. Already we have a PLI scheme for high efficiency ACC, batteries. But there could be more incentives for the battery energy storage system because they're still reasonably costly. There could be duty, incentives. For instance, lithium-ion batteries in India are currently taxed at 18% GST and a 20% customs duty, which makes it effective at more than 43%. So this tax structure, hinders a lot of development in this area. So I think that is something which could be simplified. Similarly, additional concessional finance could be given for pumped storage projects. Of course, there's a lot of development funds also which are coming in for pumped storage projects. But more can be done to optimize pumped storage. So I think if both these two forms of storage are brought in, I think that would help with the intermittency and also integration of renewables with the grid.
All right, Kunwer Sachdev, financing is going to be very important if India is going to be wanting to achieve its renewable energy targets, isn't it? And in that sense, state support is imperative to ensure that, better financing is available for players in the renewable energy sector.
So finances already is done by the government agencies, but the point is that storage is missing. See, all these projects are all grid feed projects. So grid feed is, it's an independent project when the power is, it all depends on the weather. So for the houses, for the factories, for the homes, all these areas, offices, there are generators. See, you are looking at, reducing the carbon footprint in the, EV sector. Why not in the homes, factories and offices, we remove the generators by installing these battery energy storage systems. And there should be some financing as well as some incentives should be there, as government has given to the EV sector.
Okay. Somesh Kumar, the focus right now when it comes to renewable energy and a key factor is green hydrogen. In that sense, are you expecting anything in particular when it comes to green hydrogen from the budget?
Yeah, I think green hydrogen is definitely a thrust area, and more can be done in terms of electrolyzers, to bring their costs down. I think, and also there needs to be more research and development done to bring the costs down and also to improve efficiency. So there could be a forum set up for increased participation of academia, private sector, and the government institutions to actually increase the research and development in this area. So I think I would really like to see more grants and subsidies being provided for these institutions to come together to do additional research in the areas of green hydrogen in particular. So that is something that I would like to see, and also expansion of possibly the PLI ambit to include electrolyzers.
Right. Kunwer Sachdev, if you look at the interim budget, you again, the largest allocation went to hydropower projects, bioenergy initiative, and the National Green Hydrogen Mission. So clearly, the government is on the right track when it comes to increasing its renewable energy capacity.
Yeah, sure. See, when you're talking of big projects, that's okay. But, PM was very concerned about when it is as far as homes are concerned or offices are concerned, that's how they brought the new that they will install 1 crore, solar projects in the homes. So for the smaller ones, my only this thing is without storage, people are, if you go to any part of India right now, except few major cities, which are two or three, there are power problems, power challenges. So people expect that if you are having a solar, they have to have a storage as well. So they should have more concerns about that, where they should give subsidy and they should, because this is a smaller portion, but it will add on to a very big, storage capacity.
Okay, so either which way, solar is the largest provider of green energy and renewable energy in the country right now, followed by wind power, and you have the government's 100 million rooftop solar panel scheme. Do you think that what do you think needs to make that scheme a success?
See, as far as big projects are concerned, the data shows they have already done it. If you have done 40%, that data itself is good enough to show that as far as big projects are concerned, megawatt projects are concerned, they have achieved what they wanted to achieve. But when it comes to, this solar is only, available. If there is 2 days, there is no solar available, or 3 days, there is no solar available. Then how are you reducing the, so equipment where you have to increase the, your capacity? So if you need to increase the 100 megawatt capacity, you need to have a hydro or coal or any other this thing, and along with that solar also. But with solar, you can't say that it is independent solar. If 40% energy is there, that 40% it's optional. If the solar is available, then only you will get that energy. If solar is not available, then what?
Okay. So, Somesh Kumar, tell us, what can be the solution in that case? How does India achieve the ideal mix of renewable energy sources?
Yeah. So I think, in the current setup, renewable energy is not the only source that we can rely on. And, as was being said, even with renewable energy, it's very important to have storage. And the storage can be at the level of the grid. And, even in terms of, this PM Surya Ghar Yojana, if we were to electrify households at a distributed level through solar, then we also need distributed storage. So, the cost of storing for each household also needs to come down and needs to become more affordable. Storage at a grid level and also at a distributed level is very, very important. While we have renewables, we still cannot undermine the importance of coal-based plants. I think we will still need coal, to be there as the base load for quite some time. Coal and the thermal plants. So I think that will go hand in hand while we bring in renewables. So I think both these two things are very important to actually bring in renewables. And also, there is a need for adequate transmission lines and investment in transmission to make sure that the renewable power which is being generated is actually evacuated. So, a couple of things that need to be done to make sure that the renewables, coexist with other forms of energy in the system.
All right. Kunwer Sachdev, I'm going to bring this back to a very simple, straightforward issue, and that is to do with batteries and the EV infrastructure in India. That's also a step forward when it comes to not using fossil fuels for transportation and mobility in this country. Talk to us from that perspective. What would be your expectations?
So you see, right now, again, we are getting into, we are solving one challenge and we are getting into another challenge. Say you have 100 lakh EVs available. How will you charge them? You will again charge them from the, other sources. You will be charging through coal or all these other sources. Then another 5 years, another challenge going to be that the charging energy which is required to charge them, where will it come from? Who's looking at it right now? I mean, you are making it green, fine. But after 2 years or after 5 years, when the volume is very high, where from you will charge them? What will be the source?
Okay. So what are the solutions that you see that I'm pretty sure that you are right now thinking of a long-term vision when it comes to power generation in this country, and especially we are at a stage where we're looking to increase the adoption of electric vehicles in this country. So in that sense, it's a two-pronged challenge when it comes to power generation from renewable sources, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But when you are, see, the biggest challenge so far is worldwide, if you see, every country is shifting towards storage because they have understood power, even if you are, using the power through the wind or through the solar, it is, it is not independent. If the source is there, then only you can do it. And if the wind is not available, wind is stopped. If solar is not available, solar is stopped. And then you are again depending on the main, thermal or probably nuclear also, coal, nuclear, thermal, as well as hydro. So, you are not ending any independent source when it comes to renewable, unless until you have a storage.
Right. So, what would be your solutions to boost storage, to shore up storage of renewable energy power in India?
So right now, nobody has even thought of it. Again, they have thought of it, then only for all big projects. They are only thinking of 500 megawatt project for storage.
Fair enough. What about the smaller ones? Like, if every house, if 100 million households are going to have solar panels on top of their roofs, so and they are generating power on a daily basis. How do we ensure that every household which is generating power through a solar panel, that solar energy, that solar power is stored and can be used later?
So then the best part will be then whenever there is a peak power is required, they can all switch on to that peak power timing. So that peak power demand will also automatically come down. Because all the peak power demands, supposedly in the housing sector, it is all in the evening. In the office sector, it's different. And peak tariff is already coming. So this government is going to do peak tariff in the residential sector also. And already it is there in the factory sites, it's already there, commercial it is not there. Already 2 states have switched to the, so then for peak also, you need storage.
Okay. Somesh Kumar, at this point, I'm simply going to ask you a straightforward question. Do you think India can reach its renewable energy target of 50% by the year 2030? Are we on track?
Yes, I'm quite confident and optimistic about it. I think India can reach that target very well. We've been doing quite well in the past few years. And if we go by that trajectory, I think we can certainly reach that target.
Okay. And what about our climate targets that we set for ourselves? The Panchamrit that we presented at COP26, the 5-phase plan for net zero emissions.
Yeah, I think we have set a goal of net zero in 2070, which is, quite late in the day. I think we can achieve several components and elements of that much before. I think most of the organizations that we see are preparing to achieve net zero, by 2040, 2030, 2050. So, with all those, achievements happening, I think the country is well poised to reach its net zero targets. I think there is a huge shift now in the realization and also conscious effort by a lot of organizations to move toward net zero, and that too pretty fast. So I think there's a lot of focus which we have seen, and if the momentum continues, I think the goals and the targets and the commitments that we have set forth, I think quite achievable.
Okay, Kunwer Sachdev, I just want you to help us understand what is the best thing that Budget 2024 can do so that our renewable energy, its storage and usage is sustainable going forward.
So I think as far as bigger projects are concerned, already government has achieved a big target. 40% target is very big target, which we have already achieved. And creating from 40 to 50 will not be a very big goal which you can't do it. But the fact is that if it reaches to the smaller players, it reaches to the larger audience, because right now solars are installed in all the megawatt projects are installed in various areas. So if it goes to residential as well as commercial with the storage, it will solve a lot of India's problem. Maybe you don't need to produce so much what we are the power plants which we are trying to build. Maybe that start reducing after a certain while when we are able to achieve some goal. So from this, I think GST has to be rationalized, because right now GST is 28% on the battery, right? Lithium battery is 18%, and The solar is 12%. So it's all, there is a mix up. Second, they should have some strong, incentive for the battery, especially lithium battery. So whenever this, PLI comes, PLI is all for big players. There is no PLI for mid-level or, small players. PLI is only for multinationals. That is the biggest challenge. Because the PLI level is so high that only multinational and big companies are only going to use this PLI. What about our middle level and small level PLIs? Do we even going there?
Okay, I'm going to take that last word in from Somesh Kumar. Somesh Kumar, what can we do for the mid-level and small players in the renewable energy space in India?
Yeah, I think 2-3 things I would like to say that, it is very right to say that, most of the incentives go to the bigger players. I think that a concerted effort needs to be made for the MSME sector. One is, of course, incentives need to be expanded in a way that they can be availed by the MSME sector. The others is also, sometimes these mid-level players or the MSME sector is seen to be more risky, and the credit is not available that easily. So I think we need to have some credit guarantee enhancement mechanisms, which can enable lending of money to these players, so that they can invest in the right technologies. And also, I think the lending has to be at more attractive concessional rates. I think these are a few things which can be done for the MSME sector.
All right, something for the MSME sector, something for the renewable energy space as a whole. Lots of expectations riding high when it comes to budget 2024 with regards to the renewable energy space. I'm afraid we've completely run out of time here with that. I'm going to thank Somesh Kumar, partner, Power and Utilities Leader, EY India, for being with us on this edition. And of course, Mr. Kunwer Sachdev, founder, Sukam, mentor, Suvastika, for taking time out to be with us on the show. Thank you, both of you gentlemen, for being with us. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Budget 2024 Blueprint for the Big Leap. We'll be back with more on the focus when it comes to the upcoming budget and sectors under focus. But for now, it's a wrap here from my side. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishnakumar signing off.